Yes, so that's good. It's sorted.
Sweet. There's just the two of us, but we're welcoming a few more as soon as we can.
We have some others in Zoom chat and whatnot. So,
yeah.
Hi everyone. If you want to ask us some questions in YouTube, you're welcome to. Or if you want the Zoom link, yell out to someone and you're welcome to come into the Zoom as well. And I think there's also people hanging out on the Discord too, though I'm not using the Discord while I do the stream. Okay, so why don't we just start, Joe, with going and looking at the things that have been done, because I haven't actually got to have a look through them yet. I got the email saying that there's new content on the site, so it would be really cool to have a look through that. And also I sent out specs for some more digital work as well, which I assume is probably being built as we speak.
Yeah. It is indeed. I even got an email about the email saying I need to contribute some content to the page. So the process is actually working. I'm also hanging out on the side in the politics at Vic chat. We're talking about whether IP has a policy on never having a Kiwi at the helm. So, well, I think in this case they're meaning a person who's in New Zealand. It's interesting. There's some cool people.
There's great people in that politics group. I've seen a lot of their comments online. There's been some really intelligent commentary from them.
Yeah.
About our campaign.
If you join in with their messaging thread, it's often an interesting, but it's like getting back with. I remember when I was at university, politics and yeah, you were just so outspoken, and I think I've lost a lot of that. I think Internet Party needs to bring back a bit more of that.
I don't
talking the truth.
Outspoken.
Yeah.
I think I have outspoken.
I occasionally go back over my old web pages. I used to have a homepage I built back in the days when I was live streaming 20 years ago, and I left that ISP and they archived my page. It's still up on the web, and I can't delete it without getting a web plan with them and signing up for the same username again. And
I'd love to be able to.
And it's like an archive of. It's like an archive of what I thought and what I did back in my university days. It's yeah. Let's bring back Internet Party on campus. That'd be awesome. But I think tonight we're going to talk about.
Damon and some of the others, they do the meetups at the university. So there's still active participants at the university. At least in Auckland, there definitely is. And I know Victoria University has invited us to do an event there. So we'll be doing that and I think in September.
Yeah.
Hold one second. I'm just going to quickly jump off it and just close the windows because I've got background noise going on here. So hold on one second. I'm just going to get rid of it.
Yeah, nice. So what we're going to talk to tonight, one of our topics is not just IP to universities, but IP to the world. Certainly,
Show us. I'll pass you host so that you can put it up on the screen because I'd like to see what's up now. If anyone
pass
saw
it to my.
Stream,
if you pass it to my other user, the one that actually has it on the screen.
I can't do that without making it panelist first, so I'll do that now and then promote you to host.
It's just rejoining now.
So if anyone saw our previous stream where we were talking about what the particulars of what would be on the international page, now that was just like the spec for the page that we were discussing. Now you actually see what it looks like in the front end, which is on the left side now.
Yeah, totally. And I just need to find, it's buried itself again. Bear with me.
The purple is cool, but what's the light? You have like a light in front of your screen.
Oh, there is actually. Yeah, true. I have the purple palace.
I'm down with purple, but if you could move the light would be great so that we can see the screen.
Yep. It needs to go over there. Let's just
Can you
point
put it
in the right.
behind the monitor? Because it's still shining directly into the camera. Or even better,
Too much purple.
can you move the camera so that the screen is clearly
Yeah,
displayed?
I'll stop the video there because what I'm actually going to share.
Yeah, screen share would be way better.
Yeah, what I'm actually going to share is the page, which usually hides somewhere. I'm no good at finding these pages. Bear with me. There you go. International Internet Party. So here we go. So if you're visiting our website, we've now got the International Party page up. This is how you have a party wherever you are. You don't smile, Susie. It's awesome having the name party in the name of a party because, I mean, party was a great example of that, but international party. We've certainly gone through this in the past, and this is our guidelines page. So if you're on our website, click the world link in the menu, and look, there's a little house. Oh, that's so cool. I'm just viewing our website for the first time after these recent updates. So if you're in mobile land, it looks a bit more like this, and you click on the little thing, and there's a world link here, and the international party loads. But I'm on a desktop, so we're going to go big and wide. International party. So, like all good things, there's a 5-step process. Was it 10 steps? I don't know. Yeah, I've never had to unaddict myself to something. Tech is a good example. I'm never going to give it up. Never going to let you down. Never going to give it up. Yeah, Rick Astley is a lot to answer for. So how to get started? Certainly, we've talked to this before, but have a read of our constitution, how we're structured, how we pull together, and have a read of whether or not you understand what we're doing. We have, we've evolved over the years. Probably the interesting bits are just our structure, and a lot of it isn't reflected explicitly in here, and how we all pull together. German accent. Sorry, I need to turn off notifications. Politics are awesome people. Right, so that's our constitution. Just run through and see what you make of it. If I make this slightly bigger, it might make more sense. We've also put together, and some of you will have seen it, the international guidelines. So that's another page which goes through, and it's slightly smaller text because it's the legal boilerplate. Yeah. It's actually quite understandable. Yeah, there's some fine words.
No, I'm impressed with the way that it's screened. Like, it's done a really good job of the way that it screens. Well done, very good.
Yeah, it goes nice and wide. Yeah.
Now, is at the bottom? Can you download it as a PDF? That's what I'd like to know.
You can indeed. It's right there, and it turns into a PDF.
Isn't he so good? I didn't even have to ask, and it's been done. Fantastic.
Yeah, and even the links work. Look, you can go to Twitter, maybe.
How did you end up at Lumio, Joe?
That's a good question.
I think you want to proof those links.
I think maybe if anything he meant IP Joe Booth, right? Yeah, he did. But well, I'm in a whole bunch of groups.
Okay.
Anyway,
please, can you go and Sangle as a task to check every single one of those links?
Yeah. So I think that goes to the right place, and a few of the other things. This is what happens when you go live without checking things. Just do it live. And I would log in and do it live to fix it, but You're right. Sandglass. Sandglass is the way. So while that's hiding in the background, I will add a task. Should I show them all my tasks? Really transparent. So yes, some of the things I've got to do are right there, but I'm going to add a task that says something about the actual thing that I'm doing. International.
Where's your mega website updates? Yeah, it's up there. I can see it.
Yeah, this one. Master of multitasking. Need to check the links. Some are wrongs. Cool. And I will add a task, check the links.
Guidelines page, right? You better actually tell them it's guidelines page.
Yeah. I know what it is. He'll get back to me, I'm sure. Ding. So yes, going through this, the guidelines are just covering, I think we covered it off in our previous stream, but just going through our core values and what they mean. Openness, freedom, fairness, connectedness, and innovation. So if you've got any questions about what we stand for, those are our core values. We try to be more open. We try to share everything we're doing. We believe in freedom. There's no point restricting things, censoring things. Fairness, we try to, natural justice rules out. Let's get things a bit fairer. We believe in being more connected, which is why I have two screens, because more connected. And innovating. We like to do things like the stream, which is a first for politics in New Zealand, a political party live streaming. And, you know, we're fairly humble about what we're doing, but I think it's awesome. You go on to local election rules and compliance, and I'll make this bigger. That is working, eh? It is, because I'm viewing it right now.
Joe, I think we did cover off the details of these guidelines in the last stream, but
yeah,
it would be
so I think
really great if you would go through the rest of the breadcrumb trail on the world page.
Yep.
That's what I really
we only got up to step 2, right? So we've reviewed our international guidelines. Yeah. So once you've reviewed the guidelines, which, as I said, are a bunch of fine text, but they really should help you, point you in the right direction. Get some legal advice, get some political advice, and yeah, just make it happen. If then you're happy with proceeding, then flick us an email, international@internet.org.nz, and certainly express your interest. We've already had a whole bunch of interest from countries around the world. Yeah, you name it. Susie's probably got the entire list. Sorry. Notifications.
Just on that, where's the directory? What are we doing about the directory?
It's coming. So yes, it is coming. It really is. We've gathered together a few of them. I'm just pinning down definitive details for all of these parties, which have sort of taken a life of their own, and some of the people have headed off. You would have seen some of the Australian stuff, the US people. Certainly, we've seen a couple of European ones as well. I was actually
the EU party actually sent through their first press release yesterday to us. It was really good, and also we should probably have a look at that a little later on, because they're using some really interesting tech for their organizing platform.
Yeah,
something that I hadn't seen before, but looks right up our alley.
One thing I did just notice in Discord, Carlito, who is the head of one of our, I think, Italian ones, is just asking about the Zoom link. So I will actually, he might actually come join us. We'll see. bear with
Sure,
me one
awesome.
second while I jump across there and go. It was the same Zoom, as the one I created.
Yep, same
Yeah,
one.
cool. Yeah, cool. I've pasted that in there. That'll be cool. Awesome. Anyway, back to this. I do like how Zoom continues sharing the screen that you're sharing and doesn't actually pay any attention to the one on top. So yeah. Anyway, so email us and express your interest. Once we do have that directory page up, it'll become a bit easier to update your details and things, and we'll probably actually update this to log your details in the form rather than yeah.
So with an existing internet party can become like a hyperlink to the directory, right? And is the directory on the separate site? We're not hosting the directory on our main site, we're hosting it on the international site, is that correct?
Yeah. So essentially what we've got these internetparty.co and internetparty.eu. On their main site we'll have the directory listing, and each little party will be, say, and my favorite one, uk.internet-party.eu. Let's do it. We'll let they'll probably go for the .co. Individually, and it's right down here, you're welcome to register your own website domain and certainly establish your own social media channels. The reason we've sort of done this is to provide sort of a definitive source that's consistent. If you go ipeu.org, for example, the EU folk have I can't remember if there's a password, have come up with their own one, and yeah, Rome, Italy. So that's where Carlito, who was just asking after us, is from. I love what they've done. It's awesome. Currently in constituent process.
And that's the organising system that I was just talking about, and we can have a look through their press release soon. But do you want to go have a look at internetparty.org.au?
Internetparty.org.au. And we had the discussion the other day about it is loading. See where I go all the time? Gmail, time banking, Twitter, Sandglass. Yeah. There is more. Oh, nice.
How cool.
That is awesome.
I love their logo. I think their logo is just fantastic.
Yeah. Donate. All right. Okay. I'll come back. Go back to the homepage.
Still in the development, but what they've done so far is really good. I mean, considering it's been what?
I think what's tripping me up is I'm at 160% of the page. Some websites don't like being zoomed in. Making a difference. Democracy done right. We're the people who don't just support progressive change, we're fighting for it. Them's a good word.
I love that they've adopted the hashtag for this campaign as well, because we didn't tell them to do that, but I noticed that there's now #update EU and #update USA and #update EU, or update
and
Oz,
then just
update
and then just update the world. News and headlines. So there's a time in the history of a people where they began asking questions, a time when just saying yes or no wouldn't cut it any longer, a time when the future is in. So it is some awesome stuff.
Plus them
their latest tweet.
I saw that yesterday. It's like it's some member of the Australian Senate or something.
Yeah. Tweets and replies. It's awesome. I love what they've done with the purple. We love purple, and I also love how they've come up with their own little bot. That's awesome, and it's just so cool. Just like our IPv2. I don't know what they call him, but he's awesome. This game isn't about winning or just votes.
Well, it's not. This is the thing I keep trying to get people to understand, right? Like, please vote for us. I'm not saying don't vote for us at all. But the big picture is beyond votes, beyond a campaign. The picture is changing the way that the entire political system works, updating it. Because right now we're operating on a 150-year-old electoral system. We need to do better than that.
Totally. I love that. It's right there. It's always a gamble clicking through images on people's Twitter streams, but
can you play their video?
I believe I can.
If you can play it and full screen it.
It'll be in here. I don't know. Does the sound play? Or do I have to unmute my computer? Bear with me one moment.
You'll definitely have to unmute it and restart it.
Are you getting the sound?
No, no sound.
Leaving our party's position in your hands. Join the movement. Join the Internet Party of Australia. And join us as we work to update why you.
Whoa. Nice buffer.
Hashtag update Australia. Ever wondered why you vote? After all, the big political parties have their own interests, don't they? It's time to introduce you to the reason to vote. It's time to introduce you to the Internet Party of Australia. Australian politics is as frustrating and outdated as Grandma's dial-up internet connection. But the Internet Party of Australia is updating it. We are updating Australia. To become a political party, we have been set the task of gaining 500 members by the Australian Electoral Commission, and we need you to join us to make this happen. But why be a part of the Internet Party of Australia? Because you get to dictate our party policies. Through our policy incubator, you get to share your point of view with other members before voting on the stance we as a party should take on every policy, leaving our party's position in your hands. Join the movement. Join the Internet Party of Australia. And join us as we work to update Australia. Our website address, www.internetparty.org.au. Facebook, Internet Party of Australia. Twitter, Internet Party Oz. Hashtag Update Australia.
That is so cool. That is just perfect. And can you believe that a couple of weeks ago, the party didn't exist?
Yeah. And a similar story with the US and all around the world. So it's awesome to see. And just to think, it started with a tweet. And we made it happen with some tech, and the party people are out there, and they came.
It started with Kim trolling me. And that tweet is like, we're going worldwide. Talk to Susie. I'm like, whoa, there's 100 direct messages in my inbox going, how do I start my party? We better think about this. How do you start your party?
I had...
let's give you a Discord channel. Let's give you some guidelines. Let's write. Now let's build a section of our website with the whole breadcrumb trail to step you through how to do it. Let's create an instruction directory. Let's, it's just on and on it goes. It's awesome. But that's what it's about, right? It's innovating and creating these things, building things. I love people who build things. People who build things are awesome. People who just tear things down are not so cool, but people who actually build and create things are awesome. I love it.
Sorry, I was just trying to find whether I tweeted it, but I think I retweeted it. That the 1800 million thing Yeah. You're still there, right?
Yep.
I'm going to.
Okay. Do you want to go back to the breadcrumb trail? Let's move on to like whatever the next step was.
Yeah, I need to resume share. No, not that one. I need to learn to drive a tech. I can't find the windows anymore. What happened? It's usually because I'm incompetent to drive. So I have a window right here, and I want to share it. I really do.
Can you pass me host back? Oh no, you're screen sharing again. Okay, sorry.
If I share my screen, in theory, it'll be right there. I don't know why it can't see the window. So you get to see my whole desktop. It's just not quite as cool, but I'm going to go back to the world link. And right here, we were talking about step 4. Registering a website domain and establishing a social media presence. Well, as you can see from the Australians, they have totally owned that step, and they've made it. For sure. Yeah. So they've already got advanced to level 4. It's awesome. And 5, obviously, once you've got all this stuff, you can't help but get people on board. So connect with the people in your country and bring them on board. And certainly if anything comes via our channels, we will pass them on and offer you as much support as we can. We're not, obviously we are focused on getting 5% of the vote in New Zealand. So we can't totally offer everything, but I'll do whatever I can to enable you with tech and help things along. And certainly a couple of us are monitoring the international address. So if you've got any queries, just pass it by us. So if we go back over here, I want to scroll across. I really do. Does that work? Maybe. We go through our hard sell, right? It's important to us that people have their own decentralized autonomous spaces in which to organize for their countries and communities. There has been overwhelming interest. It's been more than I can handle, and that's why we're not fully on top of it and we don't have the directory together, because it has been overwhelming. And we've created a framework.
Joe, let's be fair. What has been done in the time span is nothing short of incredible.
Oh no, you can do all sorts of things on the internet. You can make magic happen. So what we've done, and thank you, Susie, for pulling it together, is we've created this framework to step you through what it takes to get a party started and to grow. And we don't want to own this thing, which is why it's decentralized, why we're just suggesting you a way and bring it on. We have provided a bunch of resources. We do have our international party incubator in Lumio. So this is sort of the landing point. And once again, my screen is far too big for the web to work. There you go. There's Kim.com's tweet. And as you can see, there was 840 million retweets and 100.
Where on earth did you get the million from?
Oh, well, there was lots.
It was. I think it was like 2,000. To be fair, it was like 2,000 or something.
Yeah, no. Well,
over 100 people contacted me within the first 24 hours, and then
I think if you scroll in that thread, I think at least Photoshop is tagged in at least one of those posts. So it all started with there was an awesome day. It was the buzz on Twitter all day, and it's awesome to hear you want to take Internet Party to the world. We couldn't be happier to give you every wisdom we've gleaned in our journey, and this is the start of our decentralized international movement. That was 19 days ago. It's just crazy.
And 19 days later, there's promo videos, websites, entire constitutions, press release.
7:27 on Sunday, the 18th of June. There you go. So yeah, this is the start of the movement. Let's take these ideas born from the internet and spread them through the world. Like the internet, this is not something to be controlled and led, but to be crowdsourced and exponential in its growth. Let's just, I love my purple hearts. I'm very sorry.
I mean, the Aussies are looking for 500 members so they can meet the threshold to become a registered political party.
Yeah.
The Europeans are going for 10,000. 10,000.
Yeah. I should scroll down here on the sidebar so you can only see the internet party things. Certainly, I'm involved in all sorts of Lumios. Aotearoa Junior
Okay,
Party
back to
Corporation.
international stuff.
Yes. My wife whispers in the background, people don't care, Joe. She's a good meter. I can get easily sidetracked. So yes, come join us on Lumio, track the threads. There's a number of international sections of our Lumio now, and you've all got your own part.
International party has its own Lumio page, right? Like that was the parent page that we're looking at, but there's a separate Lumio thread for each country.
Yep, and if I scroll down, you will see IPAU, for example, IPUSA, and a bunch of others. And so they've got their own little start of incubation, and they even got some current decisions about. They're talking about the same-sex marriage act. They're jealous of New Zealand, and they want to be just as cool as us. So they'll put it to a vote. And never heard of it, but certainly there's another another little decision. Lumio is just great for these sort of decision making. It's a really good space for collaborative decision making, and that's why we use it. And certainly we're proud to bring it from Wellington, New Zealand, to the world. Lumio is a great story, which I think we've covered in the Moscow
I interviewed one of the co-founders. I have a web series. I'm just going to shamelessly plug my web series now. I have a web series called Kiwi in Moscow. If you type that into YouTube, you're going to show them. And then at the end of the first episode, I interview one of the co-founders of Lumio about Lumio and the Lumio success story.
Yeah, and what I love about this series is that you're bringing it home. You might be in Russia, but certainly you're relating it back to New Zealand. And every one of these episodes, you're taking concepts that are happening in Russia and bringing them back home to New Zealand. And I love what you're doing there. It's awesome.
Thank you.
And since I'm logged in as Internet Party, I'll just subscribe to it. Yeah. Shall I like your videos?
That would be great. That would be awesome if you would.
Yeah. So there you go. I've
Hi,
liked
my
it.
name is Susie. I'm an activist.
For me, For me,
anyway.
I really wanted people to see what it's actually like here, because what people think Russia is like and what people think Moscow is like is just completely no connection whatsoever to how it actually is and what it's actually like. So in that series, I really wanted to demystify it and show, because even, when I first came here, I was like, my idea of what it would be like was just completely different to the reality. Yeah, it's just so different. It's so more laid back and it's safe and it's clean, and people don't expect this. They don't know that it's like that. They don't know it's so well developed and incredibly well developed. And they have no concept of it. But this, the series Kiwi in Moscow is actually showing people, hey, check it out. This is nothing like you've been told, and it's nothing like you've been shown. And they get to be, more intimately acquainted with my life and how things actually are here.
Yeah. And we just wanted to reiterate that Susie is a Kiwi to politics at Vic people who have a position that none of us are Kiwis.
I find it to be
trolling the trolls.
there was like some random person on the internet the other day said like how do we know you're real if we haven't seen you in the flesh? I'm like, dude, I covered like 100 live protest actions in New Zealand over 6 years. There's like countless videos. I was a part of every single movement, covering every single event. Like how does that make me like not in the flesh? Like if you go, all of my work that I've ever done is publicly accessible, publicly, hundreds of thousands of live tweets, videos, everything. So just I would urge people to do their homework actually, and to see what I actually have been producing before assuming that I'm not a Kiwi somehow, despite the fact I spent my entire life there.
Yeah. I would share. We could just share the thread, but I don't think they like it when you do that. But certainly it was good fun.
I'm disconnected from how things are in the suburbs, and I'm like, with all due respect, I'm from Beach Haven. I'm from Beach Haven. You're not really going to get any more like quintessential, middle class, lower middle class New Zealand suburb than Beach Haven. If you can walk the streets of Beach Haven every day of the week, then you probably have a damn good idea what it's like in the suburbs in Auckland, particularly.
Yeah, I'm going to just briefly share because it was awesome at the time. So I started going, hey y'all, we're live shortly. Of course, there's plenty of trolls and Pav. When is the live stream on? As soon as our glorious party leader, I'm sorry, Susie, completes her makeup. Lol, the party leader is
who told me I have to wear makeup on the stream. I'm like, oh yeah, cheers. Bro.
Yeah. And said your party leader is in Russia, and I said, yeah, but indeed some things are universal, meaning girls and waiting for them, but internet and those sort of things too, right? I'm sorry. You can troll the trolls. And your party leader is a carpetbagger. Yeah, not sure if she brought the carpet bag with her via Virl into Russia. Anyway, does IP have a thing where they have to be led by someone who isn't actually a Kiwi? And I was busy starting the stream at the time, so I didn't reply much. And I can go sad. Anyway, in before Kim.com landslide, beehives painted purple, every MP must wear a kitten meme t-shirt. Just bring it on. Thanks, Felix. You're awesome. Every citizen. Anyway, Lila wasn't a Kiwi. Anyway, I said it always helps to have a Kiwi at the top. Certainly Beach Haven is a part of New Zealand. As you go. Yeah, Kim.com got a rough beating. To be honest, I quite like him. German accent, running for leader. Anyway.
He never ran for leader. I mean, he was never run for leader, and he wasn't going to become an MP. And most of all, the biggest point of all, is that none of the policies that were proposed by Internet Party would have in any way, shape or form changed the legal case that was against him. Because we already had Safe Harbour for Copyright instituted in New Zealand. It had nothing to do with Internet Party at all. So the constant line that you hear is that he started Internet Party so that he could affect his legal case, but nothing that Internet Party was about was going to impact his legal case. And none of the policy development was around supporting his legal case in any way, shape or form. So that's total BS. And maybe one day.
Some of our policies about copyright reform and booting the spy agencies and things would probably help its case, but
this would help.
Certainly, it wasn't. It wasn't him.
If you look at some of the footage I took during the GCSB movement, there are tens of thousands of people marching against the GCSB bill. So the position that Kim took was not about his case; it was about 88 New Zealand citizens who'd been legally spied on, and there was no recourse or redress for them. So
what are we up to now? Is it? It's more than 88, right? 120 something.
Well, it's a misleading number. Yeah, deep sigh. It's a misleading number because they spy on everyone within 2 degrees of separation of a target. everyone that the target knows or has communications with, and everyone that knows or has communications with someone who knows or has communications with the target. In New Zealand, that is the entire freaking population, is 2 degrees of separation from one another. So there might have been 88 targets or 120 targets, but they targeted 2 degrees of separation. That means there was tens of thousands of targets targeted by association. Might not have been the original targets, but targeted by association. That's like my mum, my dad, anyone that knows my mum or my dad, my kids, their school teachers, anyone that knows that, you know, it just goes on and on. It's ridiculous. There's no grounds for it. And that's why it's so intrusive, and it's just so not okay. And the fact that this is all done under terrorism, I mean, the New Zealand government knows I'm not a terrorist. They know I'm unarmed. I wouldn't even know what to do with a weapon. If I even had a weapon, I wouldn't know what to do with it. They know I've never participated or wanted to participate in any kind of violent action, but they will use terrorism funding, counter-terrorism funding, and personnel and resources to spy on me and interfere in my life. It's beyond a joke, honestly.
I just checked back in with our YouTube live comments. There's probably about 3 pages since I paid attention to them. I'm very sorry, people. I sometimes forget that we have an interactive audience when I'm talking to myself.
Well, I've got to admit, Bill and Red Star are totally pro at monitoring the YouTube.
We've got Damon and Squalid Heights and a few others.
Hi guys, thank you for doing that for us.
And
okay,
and I think,
let's see, what are the questions? Am I Russian? No, not Russian.
How about I share that so it's easier? I don't have to read as much. If I share that screen.
Not Russian.
How about I share it and I mute that, because we don't need the stream at the same time we're doing the stream. Can you make that pop out? Yes, you can. That's what I want. Come on. Right, so we'll scroll back up. Live in 5, what's the word? Yeah. Only the techies stay up this totally.
It is Friday night.
And the gamers. Yeah, it's Friday night. And most of my people are asleep. And the gamers, the gamers are always live all the time. Who have we got? Damon. We've got a bunch of gamey people on our Discord. And he preempted us by giving everyone a link to what we were about to talk about. It's just awesome. Great support there, Squalid Heights. Just look in the comments. Oh, right. This would have been about when I was talking about archived websites and things. Yes, we did fix the menu button.
And Europe is in the chat. Cool.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
cool. We should. Oh, we even inadvertently did a shout out to your page. So awesome. Oh, that would have been our friend Carlito, who joined us. Bonjour. I mean, all the encryption stuff is mostly, but we are a transparent. See, our people love us, right? It's hard to hear Susie when Joe's talking. Yeah, it's because you don't have headphones. So shout out to anyone out there. If you can go to buytechonline.russia and ship it to her. So what happened to your headphones? They got dropped.
My headphones got dipped into a cup of tea and never recovered.
Which is why some of the sounds.
A cup of tea, and that was
you occasionally get the squeaky noise from you, as I can hear myself squeaking as the noise cancelling kicks in on your laptop, and anyway, headphones. Someone sent Susie some headphones because we don't currently pay her much money, which is actually was going to be a topic of our discussion tonight, wasn't it? We were going to talk about our structure of how our money hangs together and how we need. Oh yeah, look at this.
I think they're asking specifically about Kim, right, and what Kim's involvement is. Kim is and always will be in solidarity with this party and with this campaign. Kim is a personal friend of mine. I have seen what has been done to him for years, and I have witnessed the media lie about him for years and smear him for years. And I did a lot of independent media work in support of the truth of what was actually going on in 2014. If you go to my website, susie3d.com, and click on any of the publications that are written for pretty much and type .com into party in, you'll very quickly, I'll probably just even give them spin bin and contra spin is probably if you want to back that up, they don't need to go to my website. Go to contraspin.co.nz or spinbin.co.nz and type kim.com, his complete name. No, you don't, no, back it up. Control A, delete.
Sorry, contraspin.
Wrong web address. Contraspin.co.nz or spinbin.co.nz.
It's dark and I'm not paying attention where I'm typing. Can I put an HTTPS in front of it?
Yes, you can.
Or spinbin.
Spinbin.co.nz.
Yeah, we all know what these are.
Into the search.
He likes it like that, does he? Anyway, people have seen me type this a million times, so yes, it's live in the stream as I faultingly type replies to you.
They can read all of my past work, which is meticulously sourced and in the first person.
I love your work, eh? I must remember not to come across as your most awesome fan, but you know, the day that you called me and said, onion address, yes, let's get on tour. The day that you called me and invited me along to be part of this again, it was just like awesome to chat, and I've been here ever since. Anyway, scrolling back, recent YouTube video clip from Susie today mentioned lack of funding money to move IP forward. Always the case in a money go around world.
I talked about this in the strategic plan video very transparently, which is that I think Kim would like to fund our party. When we put together our whole strategy for this, we actually came up with, we only need about 20% of what was spent in 2014 in order to properly fund this campaign. Cancel the spotlight video. What is the spotlight video? Oh, this is your line. Okay, I'm like, what's going on? So yeah, we only need about 20%, but Kim is all targets of these governments are under constant financial attack and financial constraint. So he has court constraints on the money that he earned prior. Look at the saga of what was done to Mega. You know, like Kim built an amazing enterprise with Mega. It was infiltrated by government and or foreign agents. There were hostile takeovers of shares. There was destabilization of the business. Like this is just, it's standard. This happens to anyone who's a target. They come after your funding. They come after your resources. They come after your reputation. This is just what they do. So we are committed to doing this no matter what, whether we have money or not. If we have to starve and eat 2-minute noodles every day like I do at the moment, then it's still worth it. It's still worth it to fight for our country, to make change, to inspire people, and to build something freaking amazing. So yes, we've done everything on the smell of an oily rag. We have produced a website which is as good as any commercial website that we could have got from any marketing agency or contracting agency. The standard of our development work is very, very, very high because we're lucky we have those skill sets. We have people involved in the party who are very technically minded and have professional tech skill sets. That's why we're called the Internet Party, funnily enough.
So we have pulled together
to build at every turn, even though we have been prevented from accessing funding to date. However, now that we have gone public with the campaign and we have the infrastructure of the website, you can help us. You can come and donate funds, and those funds will be used to fund the campaign. So please do, if you can. That would be really, really particularly awesome and really good timing for us. And the rules and guidelines around what you can donate are on the website. So Kim you can't separate Kim from Internet Party, nor do we want to, and nor should we. But he did not participate in planning this campaign. So all the strategy documents and he's no longer an exec. So all the strategy and tactical documents that I went through in the very first stream video, that intellectual property all came from me. Those were the plans that I devised, and that were unanimously accepted by the executive committee and that have then been implemented by our campaign team since. So Kim isn't a member of the campaign team and he's not a member of the exec anymore, but this party is his baby, of course it is. He's not pulling strings behind the scenes at all, but ideologically, of course, he's in line with the party. There's been a huge influence in terms of his innovation and his skills and his savvy and the fact that he never gives up. He has had every single reason to throw in the towel and go, poor me, and quit. He never does. He always comes back with another venture, another business, another innovation, another new technology, another new income stream. You know, he's a builder. He's a builder. I had this conversation yesterday with a 6-year-old where we talked about being a master builder and how the best people are master builders, like the Lego master builders in the Lego movies. You can't stop a master builder. They will find something to build with and they will build. Even if they have nothing to build with, they will find something and they will build it. And I think my tolerance level is probably a lot for being broke and destitute. It's probably a lot higher than other people's, because every activism campaign I've worked on, we had nothing. And we managed to take that nothing and turn them into viral worldwide hashtags and movements across dozens of cities and tens of thousands of people marching and major events happening. And we did that by sheer determination and coordination. And so that's exactly what we're doing with Internet Party. It's exactly the same situation. Sheer determination and coordination and pooling our skills and our knowledge and our experience and building something amazing, no matter how much these agencies, who I'm sure are watching this video right now, sit around plotting about how they can prevent us from having access to resources or funding or anything else. We still build stuff that they could never do in a million years if they were in our situation. But I implore them to have a crisis of conscience, preferably before you're on your deathbed. Quit your job and start contributing, because you can use even your skill sets to help us. You can use your skill sets to stop this world being destroyed piece by piece the way that it is right now, rather than contributing to it.
Awesome.
Actually, there was an awesome campaign in Germany for exactly this. It was to convince spies and members of the intelligence community to hand in their resignations and to quit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a really awesome campaign, actually, that a bunch of very cool people in Berlin were involved in setting up. And they actually took printed flyers and had posters and banners, and they went and handed out flyers to everybody who walked out the door of the BNP in Germany. Telling them, think twice about what you're actually participating in and become a part of the solution and not the problem.
Nice.
Because you know the next Snowden is inside those agencies. You know, you know that there's people inside those agencies right now who are like, holy crap, how did I let go from thinking I'm going to help save the world to being a part of dismantling and destroying it piece by piece? Like, how did I go from point A to point B? And how do I get out of it? How do I escape from it? You know, there's definitely those people there will, but I guarantee you that I'm sure that there's people inside the GCSB and inside the New Zealand SAS who know what was being done to me and know that it was wrong for that to be done to me. I was a solo mum from the suburbs and they were hunting me. And they know that that's wrong, and they know that they have no mandate for hurting people who are just engaged in democratic change and attempts for democratic organising and change. And I know that they feel guilty and that they don't approve of what was being done. But then there also is some really malicious, nasty people who took like some kind of sick pleasure out of like persecuting and harassing and torturing activists. But the good ones in there, if you can find a way to take action, please do it. Seriously, even if it's just to tell people what's actually going on.
Sorry, just going back to reading our comments. And
We
one
got
of them
that
says,
from international, but hey, we
I didn't know there was a 20-second delay. Yes, I'm hearing it now because I've switched my audio. So if I come over here, and I'm over here now. Hello? I'll learn how to drive this tech eventually.
Are there other questions? I'd like to cover some of the other stuff, and we should keep it short tonight.
So I will share the screen again. Ticky leaks. All right, where did we get up to in this? We were talking about finance. Cheers and all the bestest. Blah blah blah. Yeah, it doesn't have. Yeah, he certainly doesn't have much spare money. Certainly, yeah.
Well, Kim's money is mandated by the court, so they simply won't give him a chunk of money for the internet party. They mandate that he can only get money for expenses. That may change in the future, but we have the capacity, the ability, and the smarts to get on and fundraise ourselves. So.
And this would have been we were showing the video, insane production values. I'm a big fan of the likes of Fiverr, where you can get a professional to do something for $5, that those kind of things are awesome. Started with tweet. Share address for that video. Oh, yeah, sweet. And then we went Pan's chat. Yes, the first time you get invited to the politics at New Zealand, political arena New Zealand chat. It will consume you. Illegal spying became legal. They just changed the rules in a expedited session of Parliament. Say it in a Russian accent. Have you picked up on Russian accents yet, Susie?
There's no way I could mimic a Russian accent if I tried.
Watch the Kiwi in Moscow. She has Russian friends.
To see me failing at Russian in there as well. I do try, but I'm a pretty epic fail at Russian.
Yeah, awesome. Maybe there needs to be an internet party onion address. So you mentioned the other week, Susie, that a number of people on more secure ways of connecting to the internet had problems watching our stream. Do you know if that got sorted or?
It's actually a bit more nefarious than that. Not only is Tor blocked, but if you were to use developer tools to have a look at the network connections, as opposed to a normal sponsored video on YouTube, our videos are actually rerouted at network level, which is very interesting.
Maybe we should stream to Facebook just to mix some things up. Anyway, yes. So there isn't explicitly.
Which other platforms we should use, and I gave the examples of Facebook Live, Twitch, something else, and I can't remember what the third one was, and also self-hosting. I said make enough dollars to self-host, and last I saw, the majority of the responses were saying that we should self-host, that we should host our videos on our own domain. So. To which I responded, anybody who votes for this option, kindly go to our website and donate to us so that we can do this.
I like my Inception artwork. And if I leave this long enough, it'll do it, right? watching the live stream while watching the live stream while watching. Yeah. Anyway, let's not. Right.
When I had to edit the videos after, it was so difficult to do that with that on the screen.
I'm sorry. I was geeking out while you were talking, and I'm sorry.
I couldn't do the cuts, like it basically ruined the content.
Yeah. And I've got to remember when I'm sharing that when you're speaking, I should, like, I think you go like that or something. No, that's on my side. I can't remember. Switch to active speaker. No, that's just my view. I don't know. It's a tool I'm slowly getting used to. But yeah, while I'm sharing, it sort of takes up all the screen, and you appear in a tiny little video. Thanks for sharing, informative and helpful.
Nice.
Awesome.
Such a cool thing to say. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. Very courageous. You are indeed.
Okay.
Cool.
Now, do you want to do me a favor, Joe? Do you want to just go through the spec that I sent through to about the needs page, which is the next part that we're going to develop on the website? Can you just go through the spec that I sent? And then there's a couple of additions I want to make to it. And in the meantime, I'm just going to spend a few minutes doing some tweets to let people know that we're actually here and what we're doing.
Cool. I will go back to sharing my screen. So.
Oh, sweet. You've got it right there. Well done.
I prepared for this because, you know, we're going to, yeah. Right. So coming soon to an internet party near you. Oh, this is on a swivel. It's just weird. Is our internet party needs page. We talked the other day about needing or having some needs. Yeah, so ways that you can help make us awesome. From a simple follow, like, share, to really mucking in and getting your hands to it. There are countless ways you can contribute to this campaign. And there certainly is. We love our accordions. You would have seen on our website the, oh, come on. I need more time. You would have seen our, You would have seen our lovely accordions. And so we're going to make more of them because we do love them. Right. So there'll be headers, social media team, tech team, ground crew, funding, collapsible drop down about growing and our voice online. And yeah, you're right. The greater our social footprint, the more effectively, we will get our message out to New Zealand and the world. And we're going to have some steps. So getting connected, all the Facebooks and Instagrams. It's not just about following, but amplifying. So go and check out our tweets and certainly make it happen. Hey, look, I can like that. I'm lost. Okay, over here. Facebook, like and share. People know how to do this, right? Like, comment, and subscribe. I've watched far too many YouTube streams. Tell people about our campaign and tag Internet Party of New Zealand in your posts and get a like or share back from us, because we do like that. I go through notifications and occasionally steal it off our official people. Instagram. Yeah, Instagram is interesting. We actually just recently registered for Snapchat as well. Our campaign ground crew will be Snapchatting you all very shortly, as soon as we sort out two-factor authentication, because I like it so much that I turned it on, and now, step 3, volunteer. We have some loyal followers over in the Internet Party social media volunteers, and we'd like to activate you all and get you all involved in supporting us, because I don't know if you're aware of how political funding happens in New Zealand, but essentially the Electoral Commission gives you some money to spend on TV and radio advertising. The Internet Party is less about that and more about the internet. So social media is a big thing for us. We're growing up. We'll figure it out eventually. We need some trusted volunteers, share stuff, and yeah, affiliates, active, doing a great job. Yeah, you could get an official job. We're going to have a tab about our media team, communications. Once again, we're looking for people who can help manage the flow of all this, all the comms stuff. We do get a lot of requests for media and interviews and things, and a lot of our responses are already prepared, and it's just having enough people power to answer it all. We're a dedicated team at the moment, and we would like to grow. I think you've probably seen our HR tree, and it just keeps on growing. Events, yeah. Live blogging and live tweeting, if you've got those skills, and I know I don't, I can't read 3 tabs at once. You know me. I get distracted by the simplest thing. yeah. And yeah, you just don't get me to go live while I've got everything that is in front of me doing it. Anyway, memes and graphic art. Yeah. Digital artist or just a professional troll inspired by our messages and what we do. We'd love to see submissions of artwork and yeah, sharing stuff. Yeah, just yeah, tag us in your creations, whether they're good or bad. I love some of the criticisms; they just make me smile, and I plan to smile more at the trolls. It's I love enthusiasm, and so bring it on. Tech team, yeah. So this is where I got an email immediately after the spec came out asking me what he wants on this tab. So on the tech team, I suppose the things that I need to delegate out are some of the tasks around getting the website open sourced. I've been lagging behind in getting that happening, and so I'm keen to do it. So I need a bunch of people that understand Git, GitHub, and yeah, just wade in and help deal with pulls and pushes. Tech team. There's always sort of our events and bits and pieces that we support with tech. I do need. Oh yeah, I have a bunch of needs, and I will think on them, and they will be on the page shortly. And the ground support crew, our campaign director on the ground, Bill, is certainly staff. So tab 5, pure and simple. Money equals visibility in any political campaign. We are dependent entirely on your generosity to pay our bills. At the moment, just keeping this website up and running is a couple $100 a month. Things like that. When you're relying purely on donations is hard to have. And I don't want to labour the point, but yeah, we love it when we get a notification that we've got some more money, and we're going to talk to it later, but we've come up with a bit of a strategy to ensure that the same sort of structures we've employed in our power, where it all gets distributed around, happen with our money, so that we don't end up. Everyone gets a fair share. Certainly, some of us are donating our time and efforts into this, and some of us are getting paid for it. But everyone deserves a reward for what they're doing. Anyone in the world, except corporations and governments, can contribute up to $1,500. So just, we have covered that off in our briefly in our donate page, but the rules are quite complex. You're back, Susie.
I was always here.
Oh yeah,
if you go look at our Twitter or our Facebook, you can see the post that I just put up with the screens of the international stuff of the New World page.
I think somewhere I have a Facebook, and it probably says if I refresh it and scroll down. Oh gosh, my internet. Woohoo! As promised, the world section is now live and complete. This is a really bad view. You can see everything. And we are still streaming right now. Should be in bed. What's the time? Oh, yes, it is. It is awesome. Right. Back to we're talking about funding. Yes. So yeah, there'll be a funding tab. How you can make it happen, and some of the rules. You can donate larger amounts, and we've talked to the Electoral Commission. Essentially, you pay them, and they then dish it out to us, and we don't know who gave it to us. And we have Bitcoins, and we will get some altcoins up shortly, and encourage others. Yeah, so awesome. Is there anything I have failed?
Okay, so there was two things that I wanted to add to there. The first one was that on the social media, we need to ask people to share our YouTube videos because our channel is monetized and we can actually earn a small amount of money off the views. So if you would just simply go and share links to the videos on our YouTube channel all over the internet, far and wide, that would be really, really helpful to us. So if you could add that to the bottom of the social page in the spec, that would be very cool. Also, just around those share buttons, I think you're going to need to generate them in the widget section of the social accounts and then supply Rod with the widget code that he can then embed in the
drop-down. rather than just a pure link.
Definitely, you want
a share button.
Buttons,
and
you generate.
We're working towards better integration with some of our social properties. Now, one question in our what's it called? YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. I don't know. It's getting late. I'm forgetting myself. How many hits does the website get? I think we've been actually. This live stream has been really good for our website as well. People are visiting us more and staying longer. Probably because they're watching us blather on live stream videos, but it's awesome. So yeah, we get lots more hits now, and the more we get, the more conversions. All those social things.
That reminds me, I need to actually go and put internettalk.nz links on my own sites because I have pretty intense amounts of hits on my personal websites, on my publishing sites, and like the last article that I wrote about Kim had about 30,000 readers, which is, I think, pretty substantial for independent media. I mean, I don't think there would be many New Zealand mainstream articles that would get 30,000 hits in a single post.
Stream health is healthy. I was just wondering why the YouTube is sitting here showing as black on my screen. I'm not sure. Anyway, right. So I suppose
it still says live on YouTube on my screen.
Yeah. I'm uncertain what. Oh no, it is working fine. I think. Yes, I can see you talking a few minutes ago. Anyway. And now I can see myself talking. No, it's like Inception. Right, so we went through our international page and the guidelines. We went through our needs page and the updates. and I briefly alluded to the fact that we were going to talk about monetary distribution, which has become a topic of interest of late. Did you want to still talk about that, Suze?
I'm kind of have my head in the needs page.
Oh yeah.
Right,
you're still coming out of that. Yeah.
Did you add in the YouTube stuff that I was just talking about? Like to actually share the videos, and that sharing the videos will generate income for the party. Hang on one second, I'm just going to cough because I'm still getting over the flu, so just give me a sec.
No worries, I'll just talk loudly and it will switch to me, right? And you can cough in peace. It's awesome. Right, I need to give myself more time on the computer because, yes. Thunderclap, CRM. Oh, come on. I'm trying to find my needs page. I can't find the speak. I did have it a few seconds ago. Just the competence. Right, so I can tick off the bit that Susie is creating. How about I share this? Yeah, so I've just ticked off, you have done our wireframes. Oh, have you done the live page?
Hold on one second.
Cool. And I need to review the news page.
If anyone's wondering why my camera wobbles all the time,
it's because you're typing. And it's attached to your.
I'm not cool enough to have an actual desk. So what I have is a pile of books and my laptop like balanced on top. So as soon as I start typing, it goes like this. It's like pretty awesome.
Yeah, we just make do with number 8 wire. Did you take any with you to Moscow? Yeah, duct tape and number 8
believe
wire.
what I make do with. There's actually a video on YouTube of me playing a song on the piano as part of the For Me campaign, and I had a piano, but I didn't have a chair. So I got one of these little toddler chairs that little kids sit on, and I put that at the piano, and I sat and recorded me playing the song. And then I got this email the following day from someone saying, your piano playing is really good, but your wrists are not elevated highly enough off the keyboard. They need to be at the correct angle above the keyboard. And I wrote them back, excuse me, I was sitting on a 3-year-old sized chair. You try elevating your wrists at the piano when you're sitting on a chair that's like 1 foot off the ground. So yeah, I'm used to making do. Okay.
So you briefly there, I had to go and prove myself to have more time on the computer. I've had my 2 hours allowance for the night. I really need to ration myself now. Anyway, I was just checking. So Sandglass for review, the internet independent media tab has been done.
Oh no, there's some other stuff about that. I got sent some more articles yesterday that have been written about us by indie media. I'll have to forward those on to Ron. And
cool. Yeah, we'll get them up. It's awesome, awesome to see some of the coverage of what we're doing. Internet Party open sources its meetings. Yeah. Yeah. Exiled.
Cool. The other thing is, Joe, can you please get all the vids off our stream added to the later streams tab? Because there's only 2 listed.
What have we got? Oh yeah, totally. Yes, I'd almost forgotten about that.
So there should be, there'll be 2 more to add. But I also think we should do like a video gallery of the cuts. So like on the YouTube channel, you see that we have a bunch of videos that are edited from streams of just like a couple of minutes or whatever of us talking. I think we should do a video gallery. Like the streams, we don't want to put in a gallery because they're too long. They're like hours long. But I think we should actually have a video gallery there somewhere with just the edited videos.
Yeah. Cool.
And again, just embeds is fine, like totally embeds in the accordion style is like totally fine. Okay. You're asking about right?
Sorry?
You're asking me about the live page.
Oh yeah.
So that's okay. That's where we should have the video gallery. That would make perfect sense. So at the live, if you want to write the spec right now, I'll give you the details. So at the top of the live page, we need to have the red banner when we are live. It needs, whenever we're connected live on YouTube, there should be a banner that says, we are live now, click here.
I was going to suggest a lot of this functionality is covered by YouTube itself. Do we, like, you know, this whole live thing, I'm sure you can embed that somehow. Yeah.
About YouTube. I assume that YouTube has an API, right? Like Twitter has an open source API that developers can use to perform Twitter functions, customize Twitter functions.
Yeah.
I assume YouTube, if you look at YouTube developer tools, they must have an API, surely. Yeah,
there will be. Right. Anyway.
In which case you can customize it. You can not just use the function, but you can actually customize it. Well, I'm sure there'll be some limitations, but you should be able to customize it for a site.
Hey, one thing I was meaning to check. Those updated banners with the authorized statement are all in semaphore now, eh?
I'm pretty sure, but Ron would definitely have the most up-to-date copies. He's usually pretty good at this. Hold on, at like updating all the digital asset management stuff. Hold on.
Yeah, he's listed it as for review, and I think
we did sign off on those. But sorry, hold on one sec. Let's just stick with the live stuff of the live page.
Yeah. All right. So, what were you going to add to it? Oh, here you go. Microsoft, you need to build in a fix for that bug. Yes. Shortly after you've approved some more hours for your child, the computer locks. Anyway. Suze, you still there? You've gone all silent. So sad. It's probably just an extended sneeze. Sorry. You still there, Sue?
Are you all good?
Yeah, I'm all good. I just lost you, and I was wondering where you went.
Sorry, there's people coming and going, and things happening.
Oh,
yeah, I guess we'll have to stop streaming pretty soon. Actually,
yeah,
I can probably do about another half an hour if you can give me a few minutes. So the live stuff, we want the live now on the top, like red banner when we're active. And then we want the link to the stream, like, or in, we can't embed the live stream, but obviously the link to the live stream. And we need to have some copy around what we're doing with streaming, et cetera, et cetera. We need to have a subscribe to our YouTube channel button. And then we should put a slider, a video gallery slider of just the edited videos from our previous stream.
Cool.
And I think we've probably got about like 8 or 10 of those edited videos already done. We've got, and I really want them with the whole team as well, like not just to me. I actually get sick of seeing my photo everywhere and seeing content related to me. So we should have like a video of you, the video of Chris, the video of King, on and on and on.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Everyone's represented.
Hey, that's cool.
Also,
my camera's almost lined up.
I believe King has done an proper edited video, like a feature video as well. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard that it's been done. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, like a recap style video of everything.
Are you also recording the Zoom raw footage or
the local?
Yeah.
Yes, but not to cloud.
Yeah. So we can fill in some of the other content, because I think YouTube only.
You can also download to MP4 from the YouTube channel.
Yeah, the live stream only captures whoever's active. I think. I was just amazed when I picked up my cup. The two images actually
synced.
Actually sync. It's just stupendous. I like it. Anyway.
And then and somewhere in that copy, it also needs to explain to people that they can join us directly in the Zooms, or if they look out for the Zoom links, or they can join us and ask us questions live in the YouTube chat. And that's about it. And then I guess, I mean, we probably have enough YouTube moderators. I was going to say maybe back on that needs page, we could also say that we need YouTube moderators and Zoom moderators. So are there any other questions? Because we'll need to wrap this up pretty soon.
I will find the questions tab. Don't want to keep you up. No. Live links. Yeah. Don't want to keep you on. No. Question for another session. Wondering about strengthening alliances with other parties that are aligned with the IP ideologies. Yeah.
Internationally or nationally?
Nationally. Yeah. I think, yeah, clearly there are other parties that are aligned with us, and certainly my idea for it that I was going to pass through the incubator was to, once we start getting our policy positions up, try and find other party positions that are similar to us.
Have you
certainly,
seen the movement?
No, I've heard you mention it before, but United People's Movement.
I just came across them last week. The manifesto is pretty awesome. It is pretty cool. They're not standing in this election. They're not yet a registered political party or anything like that. But it's really great. Actually, it's worth me looking it up and like reading some of it to you, because for me, it was very far up my alley, that's for sure.
Just the jumpy as your typey thing. Anyway, although I'm somewhat dubious about other party alliances, especially if their ideologies have been infiltrated by more mainstream nonsense, which sideline the principal ideas. Yeah, transforming the total. Yeah, those are our cool ideas. I love it when people repeat our own words back to us. Totally transforming the current corrupted, co-opted system as a whole. Yeah, healing the systemic sickness in party politics. Oh, look, there you go. Squalid Tights, upm.nz. See, this is why you have people in your stream helping you out. Shall I share it?
Where are you at?
United People's Movement.
Are you at the website?
Yeah.
Okay.
upm.nz.
It wasn't on their website that I saw. It was on their Facebook page. They had this whole Oh yeah, scroll. Yeah, now this is, I guess, similar to what I read.
Yeah. Our future generations should not have to fix the failings of their past. It's our responsible to ensure that whenua land they're born into has clean, fresh water to drink, gather food from, and swim and worry-free. Yeah, totally. It should have
no exploitation of people or resources. I mean, like that's really key.
Yeah, affordable price, gather social environment, free from prejudice, free from judgment, homeless and hunger does not exist. Yeah, I mean, totally. This is, you're preaching to the choir. I mean, totally. Yeah, social environment where the equality is the norm. So, responsibility to future generations to make sure that those that have chosen to lead our nation do so openly and transparently. No hidden agendas, no backroom deals, no exploitation of people or resources to look after the wealthy few. Every decision made by our nation's leaders should be made by prioritizing our environment and people over economic gain. I just realized I'm being an H.A. Goodman and reading people's pages on a YouTube.
Hopefully it'll be like H.A. and get 30,000 views per video then.
yeah. So my face is not quite as...
I love to see H.A. I should have invited him up onto our stream, actually. It would be really interesting because I watch so many of his videos. It would be very funny to have him watching ours.
Yeah.
He's a really cool guy. Very cool.
And laughing at how well we're doing. I really enjoy these sessions. It's always great talking to you, but to share it with the world as well is like a whole new level of awesome.
I mean, how many political parties would be sitting here looking at the manifestos of another political party, like on their live stream as well? But if people are ideologically aligned with us, then I don't see why we shouldn't join forces, especially if we can benefit each other. I think that the Mana Movement Alliance is a whole different kettle of fish. We could do easily a 2-hour live stream just talking about that. I actually think it was, I personally believe that if Hone had got another couple hundred votes and retained his seat, and thus Internet Party had gotten into power, that people would have lauded it as a really politically savvy move. They would have been like, wow, Internet Party got into parliament because of the alliance with the Mana Movement. What a great idea. How clever of them to do it. But because he lost the seat by a couple hundred votes or whatever, I think it was even less than that, wasn't it? Some stupidly small margin.
I was sitting in the Mana sort of election headquarters in Wellington watching it all happen, and as the night drew on, a few people got more despondent, but mostly the mood was really excited. It was just awesome to see so many votes going to this collective, and this was, it was the biggest polling Mana had ever got, and biggest Internet Party had ever got as well. And for me, that was the highlight of the night. A few people, sat outside and head in their hands and wept at the results. But
act like it was some epic failure, but it was 12 weeks and they got 40,000 votes. Like, who can do that from like nothing, from not even existing to being able to fill
and that was my impression. I lived through it, and I came out with the impression, man, if they come back again, I want to be there. I want to be part of it. And here I am. And certainly you were covering a lot of the stuff at the time, and
I was with Chris on election night, and actually we decided, we were like, we're gonna party, like to hell with sitting around feeling sad about it all. Let's actually party. Let's actually be like, wow, what has been achieved is freaking amazing. It's never been done before. Let's party. But then after that, the reality of the fact that National was back in again hit me. And so what I did is I actually went and walked up. You can go and see all the footage and live tweets of it online. I walked up and down Queen Street at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, with my camera in the rain, interviewing homeless people and asking them, how do you feel about the fact that National's back in power? How do you feel about the campaign that was just been through? What does this mean for you, and what does this mean for your life? And I got a bunch of really amazing interviews from people who are literally sleeping on the streets. And when I was taking those interviews, I had no idea that 3 years later, there would be exponentially more people sleeping on the streets of New Zealand. We thought in 2014, we thought that was a homelessness crisis. Yeah. In 2011 at Occupy, we thought that was a homelessness crisis. But every election that we get to, there is exponentially people who are homeless. And every time we get to a new election, we look back at the old election like, oh, that was the good old days when there wasn't so many homeless and poor people. Every election cycle, there's more homeless and more poor people. And it's at the point where you can't ignore it. And yeah, well, this is inspiring me to get into the whole policy side, because we are instituting policies which do not increase the tax burden, which do not require more money than is already being spent, but will meaningfully address the basic human rights issues of housing and feeding people. Because you cannot have quality of life in a country where people can't live, they can't exist. And that has to be taken care of. And we can take care of it via tech. So we can integrate tech innovations and initiatives to solve social issues. Right, so let me have a little read of something, okay? I don't know if you know who Kathy Casey is. Kathy Casey is a really good-hearted, really legit member of Auckland City Council and has been for donkey's years. She's really loved by the people because she participates in the activism movements and she really cares about people. And she's been taking some interest in our campaign. She's been sharing some of the articles and whatnot around my appointment. Because I mean, she remembers me from the activism. You know, we had dealings together and we have mutual friends, et cetera, et cetera. She knows me from Occupy days and beyond. So she had put up a post about the homelessness crisis yesterday because she had just participated in LifeWise in the overnights, the sleepover for raising funds for homelessness in Auckland City. The Big Sleep Out is called. I think Sarah talked about it briefly last stream. And on Kathy Casey's thread, one of my friends said to her, one of actually my fellow media team members said, you should ask Susie about what internet party you're going to do about homelessness. And if I can screen share, actually, do you want to pass me back host and I'll just show people what I'm talking about here. Awesome, thank you. So here we go. So let me just move this over the other side of my screen. So Kathy Casey says, a reality check. It is 5:15 a.m. I'm walking back from the LifeWise Big Sleep Out to the council building at 135 Albert Street with my sleeping bag and gear. I pass the Auckland Central Library where this man is sleeping rough. I am lucky I'm going home to a warm house. He will still be sleeping there tomorrow night, and the night after that, and the night after that. Solving the issue of homelessness in Auckland needs everyone. You, me, the voluntary agencies, the business community, Auckland Council, and critically the government of New Zealand. There is an election in 11 weeks. Which parties have a policy to end homelessness? So then a big debate ensues. And somewhere in here, I got tagged in by Lynn. So check out the internet party if you want to have a real say in government issues. The current system isn't solving anything. And Kathy asked, what is the internet party strategy to end homelessness? And then I got tagged in and asked to talk about that. So I see Kathy Casey, we will be launching a policy called No More Empty Houses that will prevent housing speculators from sitting on empty properties, which is a massive problem at the moment. We have, I think, 30 something thousand empty houses in Auckland and tens of thousands of homeless people. I mean, these are not even homeless people in the traditional idea of them being like drunken wanderers or something. These are whole families with children. These are people working minimum wage jobs 40 hours a week that can't find a house to rent, that can't get a roof over their heads, that are living in cars. It's just unbelievable. Yeah. So we'll prevent housing speculators from sitting on empty properties, but we'll instead match them, and this is where the tech comes in, match them with suitable families needing rental properties. because it is not possible to build your way out of a homelessness crisis in a country where houses have become a commodity for traders and international investors. So currently you have various other parties who shall remain nameless, including the government, actually saying we need to turn our parks into subdivisions. We need to release our reserve land and build on them. We need to build. But the first problem is there are no builders in New Zealand. There's a massive shortage of tradespeople. It's virtually impossible. The second problem is once you get through all the council consent process and all the costs and everything, it's also virtually impossible. It's going to take you the best part of a year to build a house. Once you get through the council process and once you actually find and schedule a construction team to come and physically build it, you're looking at a year. So these people are going to have another 365 days before they could even feasibly get into a house. But then you have the problem that those houses are then not given to the people who are homeless. They're not given to the people who work minimum wage, some of them 2 jobs full time a week and still can't pay the basic living costs and to live anywhere in Auckland. So if you build new subdivisions, if you turn our parks and our reserve and our public land into new subdivisions, they get sold to the same property developers who are sitting on the 30-something thousand empty homes already in Auckland. So that does not solve your homelessness problem at all. So the price tag that our proposal will come in at is well under the $2,000 a week that Working Income New Zealand is spending housing homeless families in motels, which is what has been happening. They're paying thousands of dollars a week to shove whole families into one motel room.
Yeah, for months at a time in some cases.
For months and months at a time, and then sadly burdening them with debt, trying to force them to pay it back when they can't. If they would have bought it, they would have been in the house in the first place. And it will also have the net effect, and this is probably the most important part, of reducing the market rate for rentals, which will benefit many thousands of families. Because the property market, because they sit on all these empty houses and they control the housing stock, they are able to falsely inflate the values of the property market. And that's the reason that they leave the homes empty, is because the capital value that they're gaining on the homes is worth more to them to keep it empty and just flick it off at the point they want to resell it than it is to actually open up to tenants and go through the process of dealing with rental agents and blah, 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 and bringing people in and managing them and then cleaning the property afterwards, everything like that. So we have a whole bunch of empty houses and we have a whole bunch of homeless Kiwis, and building more houses to become empty investment properties is not going to do anything about it. So we want to say, hey, you want to speculate on property? Fine. You want to get capital gains on property? Fine. But while you are sitting on that house, while you are earning those capital gains, you will rent that house out and be paid for it. You will receive money for it, for having Kiwi families live in that property and making it available to rent. And we have enough for that $2,000 a week. We could pay $700 a week, $600 a week rent for the family. We could pay $100 a week commercial cleaning for the family, and we could still come out $1,300 a week better off on the WINS budget. So we can spend less than they're currently spending.
Totally.
And we can actually house people. And we don't have to wait a year. We don't have to build houses. And we don't have to give up parks and reserve land, recreation land, which is not purposed for housing in the first place. So this is a really classic example of a win-win. Like, it's a win on the budget. It's a social win. And we get to keep our recreation spaces. We don't have to sell our public land ultimately to property speculators. So it's a great example of how, what did Damon call it? Damon calls it bug fixing the government, bug fixing society. You have a problem, you have a solution, and it doesn't require taxing people more money, doesn't require increasing rates, doesn't require using up preserved land. And it has the end result of increasing the quality of life for our citizens. It's it's logic, right? It's a logical solution.
Yeah, it's that kind of smart that Internet Party brings to the game.
So this is the classic. Sense. Next is the classic, the next comment is the classic thing that I hear in response about this policy. So you plan to take over houses that are privately owned? No, we're not taking over anything. What we're doing is saying, hey, we'll give you $600, $700, $800 a week more than you currently have. We're going to pay you money. You're going to have more money than you have now. And And we will even pay for commercial cleaners and for the property to be kept in a pristine condition. And when you then want to sell that property, you can still sell it because it's still your property. But while you are not selling it, while it is just sitting empty, appreciating capital gains, you are going to allow the property to be used for what houses are for. Houses are for living in. That is the purpose of housing. The purpose of housing is to provide a roof over somebody's head. The purpose of housing is not to be a stock market. And that is how it has been used. So when you take the basic necessities of life and you turn them into a tradable commodity, you are robbing people of their human rights. And that is food, water, shelter, love. These are the basic things that every person requires at a minimum. And internet.
Sorry, I always add that in.
We'll give them all free Wi-Fi as well, and still come out, you know, in the black on the current WINS expenditure on housing. So
Totally,
that's,
yeah.
I probably, to be honest with you, just completely preempted the release of that policy. But if you go to our website, you will see a big banner that says no more empty houses. And then sure enough, on the rest of the thread, people are actually like, wow, this is a really great idea. You know, I would even vote for a policy like that. You know, people are impressed by it because it's just so common sense.
Yeah. There you go. Purple nest eggs.
So yeah, common sense policies that don't cost any more money, that save money on current expenditure, that serve the population and serve New Zealanders. That's our agenda. And that use tech to provide the solutions to coordinate it all.
Yeah, that's one thing quite a few people ask is where's the tech this year? Well, the tech is supporting some of these socially enabled. I mean, yeah, totally. The tech is in behind. We will.
The tech will be our
sure
front end of the Tech Council. So the Tech Council initiative is the Tech Council will exist to sit there and do nothing but come up with technical solutions, you know, on a monthly basis for the benefit of New Zealand. So tech is very much a feature in what we're doing. And I mean, it's very much been a feature of our campaign. Look at what we're doing right now. Look at how we're communicating with people. Look at our website and the development that's been done there. And it's not hard to find the tech in our campaign.
Yeah, it's easy. There's lots of it. I like tech.
Okay, any last comments? And then I really better go.
There's a bit of talk about mentioning us fixing things. Labor has a policy on homelessness inquiry. Yeah.
Last I heard, they wanted to build.
So yeah, nothing of note, apart from the fact that it is now after midnight in New Zealand, and most of these people should be going to bed rather than watching us live. You can stay up all day, I'm sure.
Might not be midnight. They might be in Europe.
Well, yeah, that's the truth. Quite possibly.
Okay, if there's no other questions, let's wrap it up. We will be back tomorrow. We're going to do another stream tomorrow, so then we can preempt a bunch more policy announcements.
Well, you know, this is what we're doing, right? We have to give the game away ourselves. Yeah, it's all about running faster than we can run.
If people are smart enough to get in at the ground level and participate in chatting with us on the YouTube, they'll probably find out all kinds of things that they might not otherwise hear about for some time.
I've just realized how messy my desk is. It's full of bits of junky tech, and there's a keypad here. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's say good night to all. Have a good night, and thanks for joining us, or day. All 8 of you that have stuck by to this late hour. It's fantastic to have you along. And
I've noticed that as soon as our stream ends, there's exponentially more views, like instantly.
Oh yeah, totally. Because you know what happens as soon as it ends, it's a new video on the channel. It gets automatically tweeted out by IPNZ Tech, and everyone waits for that moment.
or it gets emailed to all of our subscribers on our YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
Which might have something to do with it, but I'm sure it's the IPNZ Twitter, which you should notice is a lot more active now. Have you seen what I've been doing with it?
Should I click on this YouTube link?
What is it? I
don't know. It's posted in our chat.
You should know how to vet your own links, Joe.
It's the Good Night Kiwi. Oh yes, okay. I will share this.
I would love to play the Good Night Kiwi.
All right.
Oh my god, that would be the most epic way to end the streams.
All right, I will share it.
Violating some TVNZ.
Here we go. And we go. Unmute.
It's Good Night from Channel 2.
Okay, I look forward to editing that out of the video because it's probably knowing them some kind of copyrighted content or something like that. So I'll be sure to cut that out. But thank you, that was very cool. I have not seen that for decades.
Sorry, I'm sharing the audio from my computer as well, which was starting to recirculate.
Okay, thank you guys for hanging out with us. And I will see you tomorrow, hopefully a lot earlier than today. Sorry, we had domestic stuff going on and other things, so we were really late, but we will see you tomorrow. Ka kite anō, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
You get like purple out. Whoa.